as you can see, we have a stalking cheetah, and we're not quite sure what she's stalking. I was just saying to Craig behind the camera that I hope she's not stalking us, because we can't see anything in front of her other than our vehicle. So we've had quite a rainy morning, so we've been undercover until now. We've just had a break in the rain. And I'll introduce myself just now, but right now let's stay on this female and see what she's looking at, because this is incredibly interesting behavior. You can see how her shoulders are hunched. She seems to be losing her nerve as she's getting a bit closer. And it is this female that is in the process of being rewilded, so it is a possibility that she will have sort of a different reaction to vehicles than normal cheetah. See how she's kind of looking around. I think she did see movement in the vehicle, and she perhaps got a bit interested in it, because you can see she's now completely sort of changing her tactics. If she does get too close to the vehicle, please don't be startled if we do have to make a little bit of noise. We do have to break that association that this cheetah has with vehicles. She's not allowed to be comfortable around vehicles to the point where she can actually approach them to investigate them. You know, we want to be completely separate from the animals. So any animal that looks like it's going to approach a vehicle and interact with the vehicle, we have to stop and sort of let them know that there is a bit of a gap that they cannot breach. But she seems to be fine right now. She's stopped. She's watching us. She's actually giving us a terrific show. And no, she is stalking again. This is just unbelievable to have a cheetah right close to us. You can see the collar on her neck there. That's how we identified her straight away as this cheetah that's being rewilded. The reason we have to keep track of her is, one, we need to monitor her. You know, for the next 3 months, we're going to have to be keeping track of her for at least 4 hours a day, because this is, you know, sort of a scientific study as well, seeing the effects of rewilding a cheetah.
You are back with Owen and I at Phinda, and at last, after a long day of driving around in the sun, we've managed to find a cheetah. Well, when I say we, one of the members of the conservation team was out looking for this young female cheetah today, and they were actually able to find her. And we saw their vehicle from a distance off not long after we left that black rhino. I know it's not the best view. I suppose the black rhino, I suppose, was the same also. Quite a tough view. This cheetah lying in this very thick grass. And she did stand up and move around a little while ago. She was lying under one of these sickle bushes. And just before we got her, she apparently stood up and moved into the clearing here. So I wonder if it's not maybe just trying to get into the breeze a bit more. Maybe also wanting to leave the tangle of the branches of the sickle bush. Might hamper her escape. We often speak about a cheetah and how vulnerable they are to being so slight and slender compared to the bigger predators, like those enormous male leopards that you guys have been seeing this afternoon over at Djuma. You might get a glimpse every now and then where this cheetah is of a large wooden structure. And don't worry, it's not a jungle gym or a jumping castle or anything like that. It's an anti-poaching tower. So it's where our anti-poaching patrols will often spend the night to scan the plains for any signs of suspicious activity. And as important as it is for humans, we mentioned that this cheetah is going up the slope here to try and get a bit of height, to have a bit of vantage point. We've often found cheetah, especially coalitions of males, using these towers as vantage points, as places to scan their territory for prey and for rivals. It's also, like we've spoken about before, especially with male cheetah, when they scent mark, they like to mark on prominent posts, things like big trees, prominent termite mounds, and they'll often go to the same posts and scent mark profusely all over those posts, spraying their urine and defecating on them as well. And this poaching tower, anti-poaching tower rather, is no different. If you go up there on the steps, shame, the poor anti-poaching teams have to shovel cheetah scat off of their front door every now and then.
Have a look at this impala ram here. He's seen something. I wonder what it is. Have a look at that. So remember those alarm calls we were talking about? This female cheetah came out of nowhere and caught an impala lamb. There was a big herd of impala that was standing on the hillside here, and we spotted her from far away, and she caught this impala lamb literally minutes ago. We must have just missed it. See, she's still panting with her mouth open. Can't believe how close this impala ram is to her. Oh, she's a little bit skittish after catching an impala lamb like that. And with all the sounds that the impalas have made, she has to be very careful for any other predators that might come closer because of the calls. Look at this. Oh, this impala ram is still alarm calling to her. He's quite confident with his big horns. And she's just keeping an eye on him. She was actually showing a little bit of interest in him earlier. Let's see if she starts feeding. Impala ram still calling. Christopher Freak, you are saying very good work to the cheetah. Indeed, it is such good work, and what a nice story. If this is the right cheetah that I'm thinking of, if you look closely, you'll see she's got a collar on her. And this female was actually an orphaned female and kind of raised in captivity because of her mother being killed in a snare and being released onto Phinda to rehabilitate her. And she's obviously now hunting by herself, and she has completely integrated into the reserve, and she's moved actually quite a long distance from where she was rehabilitated into the reserve, and she's doing super well. This is awesome stuff. She's still panting a little bit, but not too much, which tells me that she maybe didn't chase too far. Maybe she was just lying down here in a dip or so and trying to sleep for the night, and then these impalas come closer and closer, and she maybe just pounced on the youngster. You might just hear one of the conservation vehicles coming to have a look at the cheetah and see how she's doing. incredible is it having this impala ram so close to this female cheetah? Karen, you're asking if cheetahs rest before they eat. Indeed they do, especially the ones that hunt, if there's more than one cheetah. Especially because when they hunt, they obviously use a lot of energy and they go out of breath and they overheat very quickly if they need to run a bit of a distance or so. So catching their breath before they start eating, because once they start eating and open that carcass, they need to feed as much as they possibly can to avoid attracting as many predators. And she's also, while she's lying down like this, look at her head looking around, trying to see if she can spot anything around her after the commotion, so making sure that there's no other predators that are around. So she wants to make it as safe as possible for herself before she eats. So resting a little bit, but also making sure that it is safe around her. Have a look at this impala ram and look at the foam. Oh, you still aren't calling. See if we can point it out to you, but look at the foam that is on his mouth that is actually forming from him calling like this. And he's salivating after running probably a little bit and being tired. You can still see the cheetah, but she's not moving around too much. So look how he's going closer a little bit, 1 or 2 steps just to investigate. She's keeping an eye on him though. Darcy, and you're asking if the ram would actually charge her. No, I don't think so. He would be too scared for that. He's very confident though, but he would only defend himself if she actually comes for him. So when it's like this, the ram is probably keeping an eye on her only, and will run away if she makes any sudden movements towards him. So he will only use those horns and defend himself if she actually comes for him. But his first response would be to run away if she should come any closer or so. How incredible is that sound? So this is the sound that we heard far in the distance while we were looking at those rhinos earlier. This cheetah with the impala lamb is now in the sun. You can see that little patch of sun just over her. We are right next to a rocky outcrop that's making quite a bit of shade here, so I'm hoping that she actually drags the carcass into the shade a little bit, but we'll see. She's still very wary of what's going on around her. Hopefully this impala and the monkeys stop alarm calling and the impala moves away soon. Trish, you're saying it's pretty cool to see this interaction. Yeah, it is awesome. We are so happy that there's one impala that's sticking around. He got cut off from the rest of the herd, and I think that's why he's nervous to go in the opposite direction. Oh, there he goes. Oh, he's actually standing straight ahead of us. Still keeping an eye on her. What a beautiful ram it is. there were so many impalas alarm calling, and it was such a big herd that it was basically just one constant snorting sound going on. Odie explained it almost as an engine that was running in the background. We were trying to figure out what it was, and then we realized it was that massive herd of impala that was here. Okay, he's moving off now. Look at the foam on his mouth there as he's calling, and the stress making him foam up at the mouth. He's licking it a little bit. It's almost like he loses interest of it every now and then catches the scent and sees what it looks like. Okay, there it like she's starting to go closer to the carcass as well. I think she's waiting for this impala ram to move off as well. But the fact that she's sitting upright now and staring in the distance, I wonder if she's getting ready to have a bite. Yeah, look how she's going slowly down with her head as well. I'm gonna see if I can get my camera out. Once she starts picking that carcass up, gonna get some good photos. Oh, there she goes. Oh no, don't go away from us. I think she's taking it out of the eyesight of this impala ram. She's actually gone down into the dip at the bottom there. I'm sure you can still see her head just sticking out above the little hill there. But we're going to see if we can reposition a little bit. Maybe we'll get a view of her feeding.